Hi, I'm Jay Garrity, and this is my presentation on 1984 and the disappearance of people caused by the government. In this first section, I'm going to be looking over some passages from 1984 regarding to the topic. So the first passage is somewhere at the beginning of chapter 3, where our main character Wilson is going back and looking and remembering his parents and when he watched both his parents and his sister disappear. And this passage too is somewhere around the ending part of chapter 7, where he's thinking in his head about the people around him and who the government will make disappear next. So I didn't really go over the entire passages because you've already read them, and also I only need to touch on these key points. So the first quote, his mother had disappeared. That's important because it introduces the concept of the party in 1984 making people disappear that they don't want there. And also in that same first passage, it says one of the first great purges of the 50s, meaning that there are multiple sets of systemic killings all throughout the universe of 1984. And these last two come from that second passage at the end of chapter 7. Syme would be vaporized, Winston would be vaporized, O'Brien would be vaporized. Pretty much people that he regards as smart throughout that chapter and as cognizant. He's saying that they will be vaporized because they don't go along with whatever the party is saying. And he reconfirms that the party only vaporizes those who are thinking by saying in this last quote, the eyeless creature with the quacking voice would never be vaporized, referring to Parsons, who pretty much just goes along with whatever the party says. And here's some real world examples of it. The first one being Nazi Germany and the disappearance of Jewish people, mostly because this is one of the most wide known instances of systemic killing of people. Just because they wanted to point at people and say that they caused all of our all the bad in the world, which is kind of reflected through the party pointing at both Eurasia and East Asia, saying that these guys caused all the bad in the world, rallying people up against them for systemic killings of them. And then we also have the Chinese government and Uyghur internment camps. Now this is a bit different, a bit more like the systemic killings that we see in the book, because the Uyghurs are actually in a northwestern area of China, and they're an ethnic minority that mostly practices Islam. And the Chinese government doesn't like that, so they're taking them into internment camps where if any Uyghurs try to leave, the officers there are authorized to use lethal force to stop them, my bad. And the knowledge that the government doesn't want them to have is their culture. Here's my works cited. Just scan the QR code and it should bring you to my works cited page. Thank you.